Again, we welcome you to our YouTube channel where we give you regular updates on issues relating to the law and how you can ace those issues and protect yourself legally, basically. So, we just want to educate you on legal issues and on common issues that affect you, particularly as it has to do with your business and other general parts or areas of your life. Now, today we're going to be talking about the legal liability for screenshotting and sharing WhatsApp chat. It is very common. So you see, you want to tell someone what another person has said, and the easiest way, is just to screen grab or screenshot the conversation you had with that person, or perhaps a conversation in a group, and then you share it with the other party you're trying to inform of the communication. Now, the question will be, are there legal liabilities for doing that, particularly when you do it without permission? Now, the case is different where you share a message. Let's say you share a tweet or like these BCs, you just broadcast messages that you see. So, for example, we see people saying, "Oh, beware, headsmen are going to attack such and such a place," forwarded as received. You know, now for that, you can really incur legal liabilities. When you share messages in a group or anywhere that amounts to fake news, even the Cyber Crimes Act of in Nigeria prohibits such. But for the Cyber Crimes Act, you will be liable or you'll be guilty or culpable where you know that this information you're sharing is false. So the act basically tries to fight against fake news. So where you know that this thing is false, or where you're reasonably expected to know. And again, a high court in India, the Madras High Court, had also decided that when you share fake information, you screenshot and share fake information, you'll be liable. In fact, you can be criminally culpable for sharing those fake information. The fact that you're not the author of that information is of no moment. So once you share the information which you're ordinarily supposed to know is false, then you will be as liable as the person who actually made those comments or who actually wrote that message. So if you send a message, for example, to say there's going to be or let's say there's a collapse of building somewhere and it's not true, you just send the message to put fear in the minds of people, you can be under the Cyber Crimes Act and the decision in the Madras High Court in India, which is persuasive. You can be taken to court just for that. Now, the main issue here is you're having a conversation with someone and then you screenshot the conversation and you share it with another person. But the truth is, for this, where you share the information between yourself and the person, you may not necessarily be maybe liable for that. Okay, it is more like you communicating to another person what you both discussed. It will only be a problem and you will only be liable where the information are such that you are expected to keep the confidentiality of that information, or where sharing that information will greatly injure the person of the person you were communicating with. So if, for example, I am communicating with you and I tell you some things, some personal things, and I tell you, okay, please don't tell someone else this. And without my consent, you share with another person, or you screenshot and share with another person. I can come up to say, your sharing it with another person has caused me great damage, and for that, I can sue you and recover damages under a civil claim. Because in the first place, all you need to prove in court is to show that there was an act done against you and that act resulted in an injury. So if I can prove that you screenshotting and sharing the conversation, the very confidential conversation I had with you, if I can prove that you sharing that caused me great damage, both to my person, my character, the way people esteem me in the society, then I can as well get damages from the court. So that means you will be liable for screenshotting and sharing. So it therefore means that the person whose conversation you screenshot and share must be able to show that there was damage done. So the issue of defamation for me really wouldn't come in here, because defamation means sharing what is not true about someone to a third party, broadcasting it to a third party. But when you have a honest conversation with someone in a chat, the person is really telling you what's in his mind, it's telling you the true state of things. So when you share that, the person cannot now come up to say, oh, you lied against me or you defamed me. Not necessarily. But the person can come out to say, although it is not necessarily defamation, but you're sharing that information without my consent is a breach of my privacy, particularly when the person expressly said, oh, don't share this with another person. So it's a breach of my privacy. And for that, I have suffered some injury. So, of course, the position of the law is that where there is a wrong, there must be a remedy. So, if the person can prove that your sharing his message has occasioned some injury to him, it doesn't have to be physical injury. When we talk about injury here in law, we're not necessarily talking about some physical injury that you can see. All right? We're talking about damage done to the person's reputation, damage done to the person's personality, damage done to the person's name. So if the person can prove that, then the person may be entitled to damages. And you, for sharing, you'll be liable to pay the person some compensation. In the case of Mr. Kishore and the state of Maharashtra and another, that was a 2021 case, and it was in India. What basically happened was that someone shared some false information, screenshot and shared some false information on a group, and then they sued the group admin. But the court held that the group admin cannot be held liable for the information, whether true or false, shared on that group by members of the group. A group admin is someone who creates a group and manages the group. Of course, he can add more people as admin. So when people share information on the group, and this is by way of I'm just diverting sort of, if you screenshot and share an information on a group that is not true, you will be liable and not the group admin. I believe this information will help you. So subscribe, like, share, and comment. Thank you.